Morning, everybody. Jeremy and Joe. Happy Tuesday. Sabres win last night, and we're going to talk about it with Sabres head coach Lindy Ruff on this wintry Tuesday, winter weather advisory throughout the area with snow falling this morning, some snow already on the ground, more falling. And, Lindy, you guys are getting out of town soon, so good for you. You're going to miss some of this wintry weather that's on the way the next couple days.
Yeah, we may miss a little bit, but we may see some in Winnipeg, too, because
yeah, that's right.
it's the time of the year you're going to get this.
Yeah, Winnipeg, Calgary, Edmonton, Seattle, and Vancouver. So, you're getting out of here
You're not going to Florida.
For the snow belt, the mountain belt up there on the Western Conference trip. So.
Yeah, we're not exactly heading south.
That's right. Well, Lindy, last night a nice win for your group, a dominant win over Winnipeg. And I feel like the story is Josh Norris's return. He's back in your lineup. It's only his 5th game with the Sabres, which is kind of wild to think about. We're still, as fans, as observers, still kind of getting to know his game. And last night was, I think it's safe to say, the best we've seen of it in a regular season game.
Yeah, I think we saw a lot about what we've talked about. Great speed, guy that can find the holes. Did a real nice job on the power play for us. I thought just exactly what you wanted to see and exactly what we need. I thought you got to see the speed up the middle. He almost broke free in the third period again. Scored a heck of a goal for us right at the start of the third. But I thought that line was excellent. I thought our group, the whole team played well, and it was a great return, obviously, for Josh.
His timeline on getting back, we'd been kind of waiting a couple days. I wonder, Lindy, can you take us inside Josh's mindset? Because it's a guy who's battled injuries a lot, and he plays one game and gets hurt again. Is he someone that, I don't know, is really tired of dealing with this, whether it's bad luck or whatever it is impatient to show what he can do? How has he maintained, focus, mindset through so many injuries and to start his career here with a couple as well?
Oh, that's a great question. I'll start by saying that all the days that I see Josh, up to this point, I don't ask him every day, how are you feeling and are you getting better? I just been letting him do his thing. He's been working extremely hard, every possible type of therapy and the off-ice weightlifting to get himself back as soon as he possibly can, and actually got himself back, in our eyes, ahead of schedule, which was great. And, like I said, he's somebody that we really counted on and haven't been able to see yet. But we got a great taste of him last night.
Is he someone that now that he's played going forward, you would manage any differently because of the injuries, or would it just be as if he was any other player?
No, I think it's been in the conversation, obviously, that, when you look at what we're doing with Greenway right now, there's been a conversation about when the schedule gets real heavy, do we need to manage the situation? I think if you look at it, last night was an ideal game. We got off to a good lead. We played 4 lines. I think the lines averaged anywhere from 15 down to about 12 minutes. Typically your top guys are over 20, and a lot of times it's a lot harder hockey. And last night, I think Josh was in the 15-minute area. Mm-hmm. I don't even think I played him in the last 4 or 5 minutes. So there was a little bit of even managing near the end of the game. But it is something that we will keep a real good eye on for sure.
What do you like about that line, which got thrown back together, which I believe, if I remember right, they were together a lot in the preseason, Norris with Benson and Thompson. Did you know that you wanted to go right back to that when all of them were healthy?
I did, and really what, the kind of the lines we went to in Minnesota with the anticipation of Norris coming back was looking ahead a little bit, that we just drop Norris right in Kozak's spot where we had Kozak, up with Benson and Thompson in Minnesota. And I thought Minnesota, we played one heck of a game. Maybe a slow start in the first period, but I thought after that our game was real good. But that's what we looked at going into this home game with Josh.
Yeah, back to Minnesota for a moment. Do you feel like, Lindy, that's a game where Like if a fan had watched the highlights of that game, they might have just seen one goal was a bounce off a leg and another was a Wild player almost kind of throwing it in their own net. They might have thought that you guys got lucky in that game, but that the overall effort, like there would have been a lot of other plays where you could have seen a goal go in the back of the net, that there was much more than just the 2 goals.
Yeah, for sure. It was crazy. We had some great chances to score, and none of those went in. But you're exactly right. You could play real and go that Buffalo's the luckiest team. I don't really consider us the luckiest team. We've had a lot of games where we couldn't get the puck together. The game against New Jersey, we probably had 10 great opportunities where we didn't get a bounce. And, I think sometimes you create your own bounces. Sometimes you'll get them when you're going good. The bounces will come your way. We got a couple bounces, but I think part of it was we were playing the game the right way. We stuck with it. We had people going to the net. Talk about net presence and getting people there and getting pucks to the net. And we got rewarded for all that.
Did you feel like some of the results are, like it's 6 of your last 9, but like the last 4 games, it's 2-2. But you've outshot 4 teams in a row here. Do you feel like that even in some of these games, like I guess you just kind of said about New Jersey, where the results aren't coming, that you're seeing evidence that the system is working on the overall?
Yeah. I think we've had real good segments of play that we haven't got rewarded for. We went through a tough segment where, I think we lost 4 games in overtime, which really hurt us. And you look at the number of players that were out at that time. I've said this, when we started getting healthy here and we started to get some bodies back, our game has really started to look the way we've all envisioned it. Out shooting teams, defensively, keeping the chances down, limiting the high danger odd man rush type of situations, playing good away from the puck. So we know it's going to take a real team effort. Again, we've battled ourselves back to 500, and now we move on to the next game.
Sabres head coach Lindy Ruff. Lindy, I asked this question to Paul, and I wonder your answer here, because in goal, the season starts with an injury to UPL. Your Alex Lyon's hot to start. Colton Ellis is mixed in. Do you feel like maybe on this road trip you'll have an opportunity to get a idea of what your rotation might be going forward? Is it as easy as playing the hot hand, or is it just trying to get the right mix of who gets in when?
Well, it's a greit question, and I think I've answered this, but it's not. It hasn't been easy to navigate 3 goaltenders. I think it's been a situation where we've been dealing with injuries. We've been dealing at different times. I think there's times where a goaltender hasn't played because he has been really kind of on a maintenance type of schedule. So having the 3 goalies, I think, has been an advantage for us so far. Right now, it looks like all 3 goalies have got themselves in a pretty good situation health-wise. UPL has come out of dealing with his health issues and his injuries. And if you look at the road trip and the way we're playing, I could easily see that all of a sudden you could start riding with a guy who has the hot hand, and that 3 goaltender rotation would probably narrow pretty fast.
Would you it's maybe close to make it, take it a little bit, that if a goalie has a good performance, depending on other situations. I know you talked about Ellis yesterday, but if a guy has a good game or 2, that they're going to have a good shot to get the next one? Yeah, no, I think we've talked about looking at the schedule where guys would play. There's the odd time we look at a goaltender's record against certain teams or how they've played in a certain building. I can tell you that Ellis gave us an excellent game in Minnesota. We had a tough travel night coming back where we didn't get back in here. I think players probably would have got to bed about 4:30 in the morning, and you're sitting on the plane for I'd say somewhere between 4 and 5 hours, and he's got a little bit of a tight back as is, so we're managing that. And I said last night was the reason UPL went in was he was like our freshest goaltender. So and we wanted to get some maintenance work done with Ellis, and that was the decision
on last night's game, but I could easily see if a guy gets a hot hand, you're going to roll with a hot hand.
Lindy Ruff with us on the Western Hotline. It's 6 road games in a row. Now, Lindy, you only have 2 road game wins on the season. Is there anything you would pinpoint as to why you've had less success on the road than at home this year, and what maybe could improve when you're away from KeyBank Center?
I think my first reaction is always we haven't scored a lot on the road. When I look at the games, we've been in a lot of tight games where we've had an opportunity in the third period. Almost every road game that we've been in has either been tied or a 1-goal game in the third period, from a Colorado game where we fought back and made it 3-3, but couldn't push ahead in that game. Utah game, same way. I've gone through. We need to start taking advantage of some of the opportunities in the game. And if you went to the Utah game, we had 2 or 3 great opportunities to push that game to a bigger lead, and missed on some great opportunities. So I think it's taking advantage of those situations and playing well defensively will make us a better road team.
Sabres head coach Lindy Ruff. Lindy, thank you for the time, and enjoy the road trip.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you back in Buffalo in about 2 weeks.
All right. To Philadelphia for the Sabres, and Sabres head coach Lindy Ruff, and then the entire Pacific Northwest via Winnipeg trip.
Mm-hmm.
Should be a great trip to make.
Winnipeg?
Just the whole Winnipeg,
thing.
Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver, Seattle.